Bro, you are not just a drummer, you're a music director.
Yeah.
You are an audio engineer.
Yeah.
You are a mixing engineer.
Mm-hmm.
You are a producer.
Yeah.
How did you come about expanding beyond music? Was this all part of the plan from the start, or you just sort of like grew into it?
It was a part of the plan, and that's because
you said something about how you struggled initially working with this artist. I just really want to know how you sort of maintained your originality in the midst of that struggle.
Honestly, you can't be mad, to be honest, because
before we even go,
yeah.
Let's just at the mention of that name, everybody.
I mean, you're trying to learn from somebody. You also have to put yourself to good use. At the end of the day, confidence is built when you do something over time. If I have to pick one, to be honest, you're putting me in a tight spot.
I just want to get it out of you, bro.
If that one thing had ruined my mood, it will have ruined the entire recording. Being just a drummer is never enough. This is a very difficult question, to be honest.
Hello guys, thank you so much for tuning in. So just to give you a little insight into what to expect in this video, Shared with Dahveed is split into 3 sections. We've got the interview, the shared, and the giveaway. So the interview is basically we having a conversation. The shared is replaying to a music track or whatever the case may be, just something musical, right? And the giveaway, the question for the giveaway is always taken from the interview, so you have to pay attention to the questions that have been asked and the answers that are given to participate in the giveaway. With all that being said, I'll leave you guys to enjoy the video. Thank you very much. Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Shared with Dahveed, where we have a sit down with incredible musicians and just explore their journey, their experience, and sort of like gain some inspiration from that. And today our guest is a very exceptional drummer, and his talent speaks for itself. And more than just playing drums, he is also a music director, a mixing engineer, an audio engineer, and he's worked with renowned artists and also played on one of the biggest gospel stages in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, gentle boys and gentle girls, Jaybee.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing too, brother?
I'm good. I'm happy, excited, really.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, bro. So basically, just going into it, your name is Omonije Joshua.
Yeah, Omonije Joshua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Omonije Joshua. I'm sorry, I messed that.
That's fine.
Yeah, but the brand name is Jaybee. So how did you come about that?
So one of my names is Boluwatife.
Yeah.
So I went to boarding house. So I had this quote unquote school father that knew all my names. So he just out of the blue called me Jaybee, and it kind of stuck. So after like testing a lot of stage names, I just had to fall back to this one.
Oh wow! Can you so mention one of the stage names you tried?
So I've used J Grooves, I've used Josh Sticks, I think. I didn't use Sean Kiston. Sean Kiston used to be my nickname in secondary school, but I didn't use that one. But I know I used J Sticks, I used Josh Sticks, I used J Groove. I think those 3 basically.
Oh yeah, well, thank God you stuck with Jaybee, because that's.
I know, it sounded so cliche, but yeah.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, who is Jaybee? Like beyond being a drummer, beyond the music, like who is Jaybee?
Well, Jaybee is a calm guy that hails from Osun State.
Representing Yoruba.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Yoruba angel, please. I'm not Yoruba. So yeah, I'm just another guy, who loves what he does and just lives life how it comes. I know God has plans for me, so I don't really have to really worry myself about how life is going to turn out. So I know life is going to turn out great. So everything I'm just doing is basically just following the process that God has set for me to achieve or fulfill my purpose, basically.
Wow, bro, that's actually very amazing. You are majorly and mostly known for drumming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I would like to ask, how did music start for you?
How would I say this now? I don't want to say I was born into music. I was born as music, like it's in my blood, right? Um, I remember my dad telling me, well, he still said it like recently. My dad, when he was like very young, he used to be like, used to be a drummer, but all this local bata, those kind of,
Wow.
yeah, and he used to be so good. So I remember he told me a story about when he had one man come around and saw him play, and the man was like telling his dad, that's my granddad, I wanted to take him to the city because he was so talented and this. So I'm like, I was born music. I wasn't born into music. I was born as music. So just is, yeah, it's more like a nature. It's a nature.
Would you say your dad had any form of like, impact in your music journey?
So fun fact is I never saw my dad play. But one person I did see play was my elder brother. Shout out to my big brother, Jaybee. He's a fantastic music producer, also a pianist, all around great guy. So he actually is my first mentor. So he started off as a drummer too. So when I was like little, he used to be the one to play drums in church because my dad is a pastor. So my brother was like my first role model and mentor on drums, and I think one of those music services where none of the drummers were nowhere to be found because of school.
No one showed up.
Yeah, and at the time I was just 3 years old, so I just stood up with my tiny legs and my tiny hands, and I was so yeah, that was how I basically. So my brother was the first person I saw play drums that like kind of like inspired me and shaped me.
Who would have thought? Seeing that little child and see what you've become today, bro. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. First of all, we can see that music has been a part of you from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like study music in uni, or how?
No, I didn't.
Did you just keep developing personally?
Yeah, so majorly for the greater part, it was more of personal development. I did do a bit of music. I remember, I think that was when I was in, was it Primary 5? I did go to music school. Not an actual music, but like, yeah, music school. My brother went to that same music school, and basically it was just theory they were like teaching us, and keyboard, like basics of keyboard at the time. But I ran away. Actually, I ran away when it got to the part of when it got to the part of sight reading. Yeah, I ran away. I regretted it, but eventually I had a second chance, so I'm thankful for that. So, but yeah, and secondary school too, I did music. I had a very fantastic music teacher at secondary school. I can't remember his name, but that man was very amazing. So I did music, JSS1, JSS2, JSS3. Then I actually did music in WAEC. Very funny.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did it.
You did like as
yeah, I did
as a subject.
Yeah, as a subject in WAEC.
I'm compelled to ask, did you pass?
So because I have coconut head and because I'm just so much in love with music, right? Music wasn't like a subject for us from like SS1 through SS3. Maybe it was for some people, but I was in science class, so I didn't do music as a subject. But because I loved it, I really wanted to do it, so I included it in the subject I wanted to do for WAEC. And it did to the exam, and the music teacher just called me like, we saw that you registered music and we've not been doing any classes, so you just did like a crash course for me that day before the next day, and I did the exam and I had a B. Just a little bit to get into the A axis, but
oh wow, just one day lecture, bro.
Yeah,
man just came up with a B. Nah, that's different, bro.
My parents they even know this story, but okay.
Well, thank God for sharing with Dahveed. Now the world knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You did mention that you went to science class. So basically, in Nigeria, how the education system works is basically just like I think in college here, you sort of like have to have a major. So from senior secondary school, you select, your major is either science, arts, or commercial, I guess. So for music, you most likely want to tilt towards like the outside of it. But you say now that you did science. What did you end up doing in uni then?
So I did industrial design in uni. Actually, my uni story is kind of funny. So when I was in secondary school, let me take it back to secondary school days. Usually the normal educational system was you get to choose the either of the three sections you want to go to: probably science, art, or commerce when you're in SS1. But my school changed it up. We actually chose when we were in JSS3.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when we were in JSS3, we like you had to like now choose, okay, you wanted to do sciences, so you focus more on subjects for your junior WAEC that would tilt towards sciences like that. So I did sciences, right? The WAEC results came out, everything, junior WAEC, sorry, we did everything. And I remember telling my parents that, I think I want to do arts. And my mom said, let me say it in Yoruba, Olenye, you want to more mass, oh, lucky. So in English, she was saying, yeah, lazy boy, you that are very good in maths, what do you want to go and do in arts class? You better stay in science class and do. So I had to stay in science class, right? So eventually, when I did WAEC and JAMB and whatsoever, I had to choose computer science. So I chose computer science because I felt like I knew my way around computer like a little bit better than what my peers knew at the time. So I was like, okay, let me put in for computer science. But when FUTA happened, they didn't give me computer science. They gave me GIS, which I know is the course you studied.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So they gave me GIS. So, and at the time, I didn't do geography in my WAEC because I don't like geography. I'm sorry. I know that's your but I don't like geography. So, because of the whole, not doing geography, I lost that admission. So, eventually, I had to redo JAMB again. So, this time around, I didn't want to just pick a course. I needed to pick a course that would give me time to do my music because I was so done with the whole sciences and stuff. But because I was there already, there was nothing I could do. I just had to do a course. And it was around that time I met, this is a very funny story. So it was around that time I met Kenny K Sticks, who is now Louder.
Oh.
He was in IDD. So we met because after I lost the first admission, I didn't go home. I stayed back in Akure. FUTA access.
Yeah.
I had an apartment there, so I stayed back and was just hanging around, going for school functions, JCCF, all those things. I was actively, which was where I also met IT Sticks. Story for that time. So I met Louder and we became close, and I saw that this guy was literally flexing, barely goes to class. So I was like, bro, which course are you studying that's giving you so much time like this? It was like IDD. I was like, oh, IDD. What is it about? It's nothing. You just draw. And I was like, okay, as long as it is giving me time, no problem. So I applied for IDD and I got the course. So yeah, I studied industrial design.
Oh wow, bro, that's amazing. First of all, to even think we could have been in the same department.
Yep.
Oh wow. For me, that would have been very, very great.
Well,
because our relationship was just more of, we never really, got to bond a lot in uni. But it was just like a mutual respect up until now. So diving into your music journey now, I know how it is as a drummer to not have confidence, not be confident in your skill and have a little bit of self-doubt, and I feel like it's a lot harder when you have external forces, or external forces is the word I'll use, and they are adding to that self-doubt. Not solely believing in what you see. How did you ever, first of all, even ever deal with any form of self-doubt or lack of confidence?
I can't categorically say I dealt with that. Because to be honest, growing up, not like my parents have been against what I do musically, because I mean, I grew up in church. My dad is a pastor.
Oh,
I was active. Like, that was basically where I learned everything. And luckily for me, my other brother is also like, so my brother has always been like a forerunner. So he was the one, like, like just clearing the road, so as I was going, I was relating. Do you get? So my parents were just basically just pro education over music, as would any African parents be, right?
yeah.
So I can't categorically say I face like any external forces. As for confidence, I mean, I used to be like very timid. Not like, maybe timid is not the right word, but I used to be like a very laid back person. So I had like issues with confidence at some points. I remember the very first day I played at the JCCF that weekly thing, the JCCF week, one of these. Yeah, it was IT that put me on the spot for that, and yes, I was literally shaking. But at the end of the day, confidence is built when you do something over time. So because I was like a very laid back and shy person, I had difficulty like facing crowd and owning up to what I know I can do in front of like a huge number of people. So, but aside that, eventually I got over it eventually. So not like I had like any other external forces like that was like pulling me down or something.
You said something that I would just love to repeat again. You said confidence is built when you do something over time.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, not like you didn't, you did obviously struggle with confidence, but you kept doing it over time. Is that what you're saying? You kept like playing the drums and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Till you felt confident in your skill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then, there is that which is like the internal side of it. Like say now, you as, Jaybee, you obviously not necessarily struggling with confidence like the way you used to. And now you are probably playing at an event or whatnot. And there is, this criticism from somebody else saying, this guy is not good enough. Or, I'm just making up a scenario like that. Like, have you ever had that? Like, say, an outside person like criticizing you and saying like, yeah, you should sound different. And also, because I saw this video on your Instagram a while ago, when you were playing with a particular artist and you had to do this intro and he didn't like it, and then you had to like do that over again. But yeah, that's to sort of like buttress my question. How do you like deal with external criticism?
Well, as for that, if let's use like the first instance. Okay, if the criticism is coming from a random person who is probably watching a video or watching me play from afar, I don't think it will really matter to me that much, to be very honest. Except if I can see a reason to why you said whatever you said, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, not everybody will like you, to be very honest. Yeah. So, but also using the second instance you talked about, in the case of when you're playing for a particular artist and you do something and they don't like and they tell you, honestly, you can't be mad, to be honest, because that person, one, is the person paying you. That's the first thing. Let's put that by the side. Secondly, the artist knows what he wants for his music. You get? If you employ a furniture guy to probably make you a furniture, he wouldn't make something based on his own preference. He'll make something based on your preference. You get? So if the artist says, this is what I want, I didn't learn this all the time. As in, there was a time like, shout out to Minister Priyo did it. In the initial state of working with him, it was kind of like a struggle because it was totally out of what I was like comfortable with, right? I'm the contemporary church kind of guy, but then playing music in him is bringing me to the traditional with a mix of hard rock kind of, this everything should be like.
Yeah.
And me being the laid back person that I am, I like music to be like, smooth, no need to make noise, just he wants that energy, so like it took a while for me to like adjust. At the end of the day, I had to just tell myself, like, you know what, this is the person that is in the front of the crowd, like this is the first contact of the people that are watching, so he needs every inspiration, ginger, encouragement as much as possible from those people that are like working with him. You get, so I had to just like, sometimes you have coconut head what's in your mind, but
so now would you say that was one of your times you had coconut head?
Yeah,
and he just called you out like, yeah.
So but that particular event, as it was like a live recording, and I played that intro and it was like, nope. I've always told you don't be doing all this here. So I mean, if I had taken that to heart, it would have probably ruined the entire recording, because my mood, and we're just like, we are not even, I don't think we're even halfway done with the recording. So if that one thing had ruined my mood, it will have ruined the entire recording, because I was the one controlling stems, and I was also like giving cues to at some point. So if I just zoned out, it will have ruined a lot of things. Yeah. So and I know he didn't mean it in a way to like spite me. Yeah. So there was no. I just had to react like that.
Yeah, that's really amazing, bro. You said something about how you struggled initially working with this artist, and I just really want to know how you sort of maintained your originality in the midst of that struggle.
I didn't joke with church. Like, while I was working with this artist, at every chance I get, I'm in church. Because I used to worship at a church, House of the Rock in Port Harcourt, where they were like, predominantly the music there was like contemporary music. So that always like kept me in check every time. I mean, playing with Mr. Priest sort of like, influenced, I don't want to say affected, influenced my play a little bit. And it more like my sound changed a bit, but I just made sure that I still kept the the core Jaybee that I had inside of me. Yeah. This guy.
Well, big ups to you, bro, to be fair, because it does take a lot to, say, maintain that level of originality, what you want. What I see really about what the story you've just shared is the fact that you are professional up until the point where you can actually sacrifice what you want and, give the artist what is needed, what the music needs, really.
Yeah.
But then also you're also still true to yourself, true to your goals, the kind of music you want to do, what you want to sound like, and by that you sort of like sacrifice, probably going into spending more time with church, so you can just stick with your style of music, which is very, very important, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I would love to ask, because as I said, your music journey is quite, intriguing. Like it's more like you draw knowledge and wisdom from lots of people.
Yeah.
Really. So like, do you have a mentor?
Yes, I do have a mentor.
Okay. Would you say, I mean, obviously, but yeah, would you say he or she has played like a very massive role in, shaping your music?
Yes, I would say he has. Thank God he said music, not my play, because I don't really remember like having, at best maybe once or twice, where myself and my mentor, have like a sit down on drum to play around. So basically the mentorship has just been about, music as a whole and life too in general. So, and yeah, you didn't ask, but the name of my mentor is Tsunode Token. Popularly known as IT Sticks, now it's Unujo. So big shout out to you, Pops.
Now, first of all, we need to clap before we even go on.
Yeah.
Let's just clap at the mention of that name. Everybody just nah.
Yeah.
Really, I sort of had a little bit of information about that, but obviously I still needed to ask. And yeah, the reason why I did say your music was, first of all, you guys don't sound alike.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like it's funny because I'm there like, yo, these guys are, seemingly close. You can see the synergy and the energy, like whenever you guys are together and all of that. But when it comes to the sound on the drums, the playing is just totally different. Like,
Yeah.
And you can also see the influence that is made in your music journey because, yeah, I mean, shout out to IT6, man.
Yeah, big shout out, man. It's Suluju.
Do you have like mentees that you are currently like taking on yourself?
No, currently.
Okay. Is there a particular reason for that, or?
So first things first, I'm not always out there, so it'll be pretty difficult for anybody to like have a hold of me. And these days, I don't know how, but these days young musicians don't really like. I think they're more about just having. I just want to maybe know this popular person or have this person's number just for the sake of it. It didn't work like that during my own time. And to be fair, I didn't even have to tell IT that please come and be my mentor or something. It was just from me, like I was literally chasing him up and down. Basically, that was what I was doing. When we first met, first time I met him was like 2015, and from rehearsals to when he did
10 years, bro.
He said?
It's been going 10 years now, bro.
Yeah, actually, this year makes it 10 years that we met in person. The first time we spoke on phone was 2012. That's another story. But we met in person in 2015, and Groove Clinic, from there onwards, I think before Groove Clinic, I think it was after Groove Clinic he put me on JCCF. I can't really remember. But from there it was like just always there when IT is doing something, or just there, just being there. Even if I'm not doing anything, if he needs help, I'm just there. That kind of thing. So that was how like we got to build that relationship, and the mentorship thing began.
So if you were going to give sort of advice to the young generation that you just mentioned, what advice would you give to them? You say if you're just a musician that is currently like lost or not knowing how to go about their journey or whatever the case may be, like what advice would you have for them?
Find a mentor, and it is very important, right? And when I say find a mentor, I'm not particularly talking about a mentor that would. I'm not talking about a drum teacher. If you need someone to teach you drums, there are people for that. But if you need a mentor, it's a total ballgame entirely. Find someone who has, broken the barriers that you are facing. Find someone that has made the possible mistakes you think you make, or the ones you think you're making. Find someone that has tread the path you want to tread in. You get? So find that person and just hang around. It is not about the play. Like most drummers these days, most of them, they are just about the come and teach me how to play drums. So, trust me, you even learn more when you're more about life and music in general than you're particularly about drums, because drums is just one unit of an entire music. So if you're focusing all your attention on just drums, you miss the big picture. So find a mentor. Find a mentor. Find a role model. Find somebody that can take your hand and work with you. Basically.
And you found yours sort of like coincidentally, but
It wasn't
you sort of like
coincidentally.
chose.
It wasn't coincidentally.
What?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
let me just tell you the story. So because my brother used to be a Futurian before he left the country at the time, I was frequenting Futa from boarding house. My boarding house was in Ife. My brother was in Akure Futa, so he usually come pick me for midterm breaks to school. So there was this drum festival that was like a very big deal in Futa at the time. So the particular year that IT played, I wasn't around. And at the time, my brother had traveled. That was because my brother had traveled. So I went to Akure to see my sister because my sister too was there. Then I met with one of the drummers of the fellowship she attended, who used to be like, she's like a big brother to me, to Ojas. So he gave me the CD. Then I went back home and watched it. I watched that video, that particular CD, until it cracked on my daddy's laptop. And I was only watching, the only part I rewatched was IT section when he played This Is The Day. That video is still on YouTube. And I had to go look for him on Facebook. And at the time, people were comfortable dropping their numbers. So I saw his number and I called him. And I told him how much I adored. And really, it wasn't really about the chops. There were crazy guys on that set that there was Paranelson. OGs will know Paranelson. There was Ebo. There was Salsa Boy. Then I think it was 4 of them. But something about IT's play just captivated me. So it wasn't about the chops, it was about the musicality, it was just about everything. So I just called out, like, because that is what I gravitate towards naturally. So I called him out, like, I really love what you do. And he was very receptive on call. And we met like about 3 years down the line. And so it wasn't accidentally, it was actually divine. Like, God literally orchestrated that moment for me, to be honest.
I was trying to like touch on how you sort of like got him to be present in your life, because obviously, he had his life going on before you came
God
around.
made it work because it was easy, because I know that there are people who have tried. There were people who have tried to be like, have him be their mentor and stuff. I mean, IT is an available person. Like, he likes to be available for people. But of course, not everybody. But there are people who have like probably met him like years before me. But the way he still paid attention to me amidst all of them is, I don't think it's accidental. It's divine, to be honest.
And how did you keep that relationship?
I don't think there was like, I was just be myself, right? And in being myself, a young boy who is ready to learn and to learn at all costs. Like, so I can't say there's like a particular script I followed. I was just being me, the honor and the respect is very important. The honor and the respect is very important. And for someone like IT, is a very principled and humble person. When you're principled, you're strict, but you're still humble. So it was just basically me just giving him his accolades. Like, as much as I could, I was rendering help to him. I mean, you're trying to learn from somebody, you also have to like, put yourself to good use.
Yeah, to good use for him.
Yeah, so
service.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word. Yes. Services.
I mentioned something when I was introducing you, which was the fact that you've, amongst the loads of big things that you've done, you've played on one of the biggest gospel stages in the world. How was that for you? How was that experience for you?
The experience was the experience, actually. It was great, right? It was a privilege to like be on the stage with Minister Priye. And I mean, I just went there, did ministry, and
okay. Really, would you say like there was any difference in terms of like the stage, the number of people you were playing in front of, and did that affect your drumming in any way?
Nope.
Did you feel any form of pressure, or it was just straight on, bro?
Straight no. Like, if the largeness of the stage affects your delivery, then I don't think you've started yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because to me, I don't think I don't have big stage, small stage in my mind. I just go and do, like, giving my best at every point in time. So the way I played in a church, a small church, probably like a week or 2 weeks before the experience, is the same way I played on the experience. I didn't do more than what I was supposed to do, and I didn't do below what I was supposed to do. Yeah, so I don't think there should be like some sort of I'm going to play on experience stage, and you just go there, play. At the end of the day, we are going to support somebody's ministry. You are not the front man. So the only difference between playing on the experience and playing in your local church is probably just the large crowd and the big stage. The God is the same.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
know about that. That's right.
so
The God is the same. Yes, sir.
the God
Yes.
is the same. The God is not bigger, it's not smaller, it's the same God. So
Yeah, same God. Bro, you are not just a drummer. You are, let me list everything out. You are a music director. If I'm right, just if I'm saying anything wrong, just call me out. You're a music director.
yeah,
You are an audio engineer.
yeah,
You are a mixing engineer.
mm-hmm.
You are a producer.
Yeah.
Right? How did you come about, expanding beyond music? Like, was this all part of the plan from the start, or you just sort of like grew into it?
It was a part of the plan. I just grew into it, and that's because, like I said, I had forerunners. My big brother was one, and I had someone like IT Sticks to my mentor. So my brother left Nigeria, and oftentimes when we spoke, we be like production. So I was like, okay, this production thing sounding something interesting. Then meeting IT Sticks, I saw that IT was producing his own tracks that he was performing back then.
Bro,
like this is not something you would see regularly. At least now, like, a lot of people are like making tracks for themselves. Back then, IT was a drummer and he was producing his own drumless tracks that he was performing. So things like that were like things that like gradually, and funny enough, he didn't like attractly say, I don't think he ever even told me like, you need to start producing music. The mere fact that I saw him doing those things and saw that my brother was doing things like that, I was like, okay, there's a possibility in this thing. And also seeing that being just a drummer is never enough. And also with the, being that I'm the kind of person that I'm particular about, the music in general, not just the drums. So I also realized that if I have to be a better drummer, I have to just think beyond being a drummer. I have to start thinking in context of the music, and by that, you're beginning to think like a producer. You get? So those are the things that pushed me into being a music producer. Audio engineering was just majorly because I like audio and I appreciate when audio is good. So when I got the chance to sit in the studio, I just started trying to find my way around, tweaking this sound, tweaking that sound to make the best out of it, and that was how the whole journey started.
And about being a music producer, and you also did touch on the fact that being a drummer is not enough. So for the music production side of things, did you have to learn another instrument?
Not like I had to learn. I've always been a multi-instrumentalist since I was little. I have basic idea of keys, basic idea of guitar, basic idea of saxophone, basic idea of trumpet, basic idea of clarinet. So majorly for production, it's just keys. So and the thing is, I also learned I also learned the secrets to great productions early enough. Only you cannot do everything, and yes, it will try you, but at the end of the day, outsource.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything to be the producer. The major thing is, as long as I don't put the structure and everything to the music, you've produced the music already. So that was something that I harnessed early enough. So I already have like wonderful guys, wonderful minds around me that I could outsource jobs to, and yeah.
Bro, that's a lot of roles that you are juggling. I mean, and all in one person. That's a lot of roles, bro. What would you say are the advantages and disadvantages of being a multi-musician, like, and having this many roles to fill? Yeah.
The advantages is you tend to sound different from others, because if you are doing music, you're not only doing music as a drummer, like I said, you'll not be doing music as just a producer. You also be doing music as a sound engineer, as a mixing and mastering engineer. So that way, you're thinking as a drummer, thinking as a producer, thinking as an audio engineer. You don't know how much better you would sound if you think from those three perspectives. You don't know how trust me, because audio engineering, you're thinking of frequencies, space, everything. So these are the things that, so if you apply everything and bring music together, you've made magic.
I mean, you make magic. So yeah,
I try.
I would really, just pick from what you've said. If you were to pick a role, like say, you have to pick one. God said from heaven, Jaybee, choose one thing. What would you choose?
It's a very difficult question, to be honest, because drum is that's the genesis of the whole thing. That's like the day one passion. But at the same time, in the grander scheme of things, drum is just one minute part of the whole thing. So it's very difficult to pick one, to be honest. Very, very difficult. Very difficult.
Really, but for the sake of this video, bro, I just just say one thing that
I will have to stick to drums, to be honest. I will have to stick to
you
drums.
have to stick. Okay, that's
stick to drums. If I have to pick one, wait to be honest, I'm putting me in a tight spot.
I just want to get it out of you, bro. Just it's drums. You're still sticking with drums.
If I'm being honest, right, I will still pick drums. The drums I'll pick. I don't have a choice. But I'm never going to be in that position, so
yeah. No. I mean, we just you definitely not. Definitely not. Would you say it's advisable for musicians to have multiple skills?
Yes, it is. By all means, please do learn, pick up other skills. If you want to remain in the music space, pick up skills. There are a lot of skills in the music space that you can harness, and just do it, because they would eventually, at the end of the day, they will complement each other. Yeah, and they will magnify your little efforts. Yeah. So if you can't, just do. Yeah.
So to touch on, because I'm also trying to see how just touching on the statement that you made earlier, which was being a drummer is not enough. Are you saying that from just the music perspective, or there's also like a financial side to things?
Everything. It's just everything, my bro. Trust me.
Or just life.
In life in general, you cannot just be, if you are just a drummer, my brother, I don't know, like, okay, let's even go to the finances part of things. Musicians are at the bottom of the food chain, right? If they want to produce an event, right, we have the artists, we have the management, then we have the event producers, Then we have the. Oh, okay, wait. We have the artist, we have the management, we have the what's it called? There's something. It's not marketer. What they call them? There's one English they call them in this industry. I've forgotten. But they are like promoters. Yeah, show promoters. They are the show. They are the show promoters. You have the event production. Then under the production, you have the video, you have the sound, you have the lights. Before you go touch musician, you are already like all those ones. They've collected like the bulk of the money before it gets down to like musicians and stuff. So if you say you just want to be like a drummer or a bassist or a keyboardist, for instance, that's just all to it. But expanding your skill, your range of skills, is going to give you like an upper hand, and also like give you more streams of income. Like, right, so like even for when it gets to the music thing, it goes through the producer before it gets to musicians. So like just so there's nothing wrong in tapping from every sector.
Putting yourself up the
food chain. Just climb
the food chain, really.
Just climb up. There's totally nothing wrong with it. Totally nothing wrong with it. If you are not eating from drums today, you are eating from production tomorrow, you are eating from this next one, eating from that. So yeah, it's don't just be a musician, don't just be a drummer, please. Don't just be a keyboardist. Expanding it. And if you know that that you just that one, then find something outside of music to do.
I mean, definitely, it's always advisable to have multiple streams of income because, when
we're young, they tell us that no knowledge is wasted, and indeed, no knowledge is wasted. So,
you can't just sit on one thing because, take for instance, this is a very, very extreme scenario, but you lose a leg or you lose your nerve just gets disconnected and you can't play the drums. What happens from there? Like what else can you offer? Like you need to add more value to yourself. The whole essence of what you're saying right now is adding value to yourself to be, better in the industry, not just music or whatever it is you choose to do, bro. Whatever it is you choose to do, just add value to yourself to make sure that you cannot be easily looked over, and definitely the money will come to you. Bro, you are I went through your recent posts, your Instagram, and I see like recently you've been working with Itunujo Sounds from Zion on the recent event they did. I think that was in January, and late last year you were also the MD and co-producer for Sinatisi. Did I pronounce that right? Sinantisi. Okay, that's which is just very amazing to see. And are you currently working on any projects that you would love to share with us?
The Sinantisi you talked about is the project in the works. I could produce the projects alongside Money Music for Pastor Nobuji, and we did the events November last year. So funny enough, today is Thursday. The first single from the project is dropping tomorrow. Actually, it's called Hallelujah Chant. It's called Hallelujah Chant. Okay, by the time they'll be watching this video, it will have dropped.
It will have dropped,
Okay. By the time they'll be watching this video, it will have dropped. So Hallelujah Chant is one of nine songs that we recorded last year. So so the Sinantisi album, I think it's called let me say the name. I'm not the artist. So it's going to be out probably by mid-year, and honestly it's one album I'm looking forward to. Like everybody has put in their sweat and blood into the album, right? The entire team. It's been an amazing journey, working on that project. Aside producing the music alongside the guys, also producing the events too, and having ideas and having the ideas come to life is something very, very beautiful. You get so
That also
yeah,
does boil down to working with the right team as well, like
yeah,
minded.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
So, is there anything outside of music that you are currently working on, or that you love to share with us?
Well, I'm a business enthusiast, so like I have some things in the works. I cannot really say much about it right now.
Yeah.
So, well, aside of music, I have passion for doing business and stuff.
That's amazing, bro. Before we wrap up, I would love for sort of like to create a connection between this episode and the next episode. And my way of doing that is without necessarily knowing who the next person is going to be. To be fair, I actually don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah,
And you don't know as well, but what would be that question that you love to ask the next musician?
This is a very difficult one, to be honest. And I told myself, like, I saw that stuff in the guide. I was like, I'm going to think of the question on the spot. I don't want to premeditate the question. So a question to ask the next guests. I think this question might put the person on the spot.
But please do that, bro. Like I want this next person to be on the hot seat. Like Jaybee has dropped something for you, bro. Jaybee has just dropped something for you, bro. That's what I want, bro.
Ask the person to talk about how to deal with toxic artists.
Okay, that's a very solid question. Like, I don't think I would have thought of that.
So toxic artists or management or just toxic, anybody that is superior that is toxic.
Calm. That's okay. I feel like this is going to just be like one of the major conversations in the next episode. Oh Jesus. Yeah. But genuinely, bro, it's been a very incredible conversation, and thank you so much for sharing your journey. Just giving everything that you can possibly give, all the information you can possibly give as regards, all of the questions, bro. And guys, we are not done yet. We've got a shed coming up, and you get to see Jaybee and all of his musicality in the shed. So please, nah, I'm not even going to say please. Just stay tuned, bro, because I don't know where you're running to. And also, we've got a shed coming up. I'm also going to give it coming
Please
up.
drop your expectations, please. Drop it.
Please don't drop your expectations. Raise it up. So we've got a shed coming up, and we've also got a giveaway section coming up. You don't want to miss any of that. So yeah, stay tuned. And I'm also going to leave Jaybee's socials just right here or in the description below, so you can check him out and watch out for all of the projects that he's mentioned that is coming up. And yeah, thank you so much, Jaybee. Thank you for coming on this show today. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. And yeah, bye, guys.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Subscribe
Yes.
to the channel.
Hello. Thank you so much for watching this video. We've split the release of this particular episode into 2 parts. So the interview is what you've just watched. We still have the shed and the giveaway coming up, and that will be released next week. For the shed, we are playing to an original track. It's called Restart, and we are also giving out 3 KZ EDX Pro in-ears. And if that sounds like something you don't want to miss, which I believe you don't want to miss, you should like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.